time, and welcome to you for any help or any design for the poultry houses.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am also available special for the advices of the ventilation system, for the automation system, for the layer, broiler, breeders. I designed more than 100 plus houses of the layers, of the broilers, of the breeders, and especially my expertization, my uh, experiences on the ventilation and automation. Yes, and I did a lot of project, Alhamdulillah, and I visited Germany, and I visited their the broiler sheds, the layer sheds, and also I assume that in Pakistan our system is more than best, because there's a lot of dust, because they have no labors, you know. In Europe, the poultry business is the family business,
Mm.
because of the
Is that-
high cost of the labor, because the high cost of the labor.
Yes, yes.
So
Family
in
business
Pakistan,
is,
we have a lot of labors. We have uh, a cheap cost of the labors. That's why we have a high labor. So our farms are very neat and clean. Yes, no dust. Yes, and I saw a lot of dust, lot of wings, lot of dust in the Europe. Yes, when I visited their farms. So our Pakistan, in Pakistan the farms are very neat and clean. I uh, this I assumed after my visit in Sweden, in Denmark, in Germany, in Holland, when we visited their farms.
mm,
So I'm going to my last question, sir. Uh, Thank you very much for joining and sharing your knowledge. My last question, that please let us know the what is the best management for the broilers, for the layers. What things,
uh,
which things are the most important, and we should care for special for my growers, for my farmers, because lot of farmers, lot of veterinary doctors watch this program after. So for all, please let us know, tell us the remedies, the special tips for the best management. Yes.
uh, the risk management is uh, calculated the requirement of ventilation, requirement of humidity, requirement of heating, requirement of the uh, movement air in the house, and requirement of oxygen. At the same time, management the exclude the litter or hen feces to remove outside the house if you use battery cages, because the feces of the hens, it has high humidity. The face of the hen contain about 60 percent humidity, and it is evaporate inside the house about 20% of this. So every 100 bears make about uh, 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 about uh, 200 of water, liters of water inside the house. If you calculate the ventilation, you should be how many cubic air to uh, to remove the humidity of the litter or hen feces, as well as the drop water from the drinkers. All this increasing the humidity in the house. So you can calculate ventilation to removing heat, to removing humidity, to uh, to put the amount of uh, suitable level of oxygen inside the house and calculate how many cubic air square meters to remove the respiration rate. Uh, Many people calculate the ventilation to exchange how many times to exchange the air.
Yes, replacement
But
of the air. Yes.
okay, but you should be calculate how many cubic meters of air to remove the humidity from drinking water and hen feces or litter. Okay?
Yes, 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 yes. That's very important. And also, I just received one question that how we calculate the oxygen demand, how we calculate the oxygen demand for our forced air heaters in broiler shed, or diesel heaters of broiler shed. How we calculate the oxygen demand? Yes, please.
Okay. Uh, you can calculate it by other method based on the feed consumption, which every one consumed 1 ton of feed uh, is produce 1.5 ton of feces in the house. And this is a huge uh, of humidity. There are many equations can calculate this for broiler and for layer. For broiler, every 1 kilo feed produce 1.5 kilo litter or feces, while in
Okay.
layer it is 1.35 per kilogram. Based on the feed consumption, you can calculate the the ventilation level, which was I mentioned that uh, uh, 3 cubic meter per second for 1 ton this year. Okay, I can calculate for every things, but you send me what do you want to calculate or what do you want to design,
Okay,
either
okay.
for broiler or layer. I think that you did not understand me the last point to calculate the ventilation based on feed consumption. You know it?
Yes, yes, I understand. That is very important point. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, that's
That's
very great.
okay.
That's very
Okay.
great, sir. So great. Thank you very much for
Mm,
coming and
mm.
for sharing. And also, I will send you some calculations for the calculation. And also, my friend Dr. Saifur Rahman, I introduced you before. Dr. Saifur Rahman is also more than 25-year experience of the broiler farming, and he is very special expert in broiler farming. Sir, Dr. Saifur Rahman Saab, do you have any question for Professor Dr. Talat?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm listening very carefully. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Talat Mustafa, and hoping to have more meetings in the future.
Very thanks. I can do that.
Yes, thank you very much for your time and your knowledgeable experience and your teaching experience. I really enjoyed the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank
And
you
I
very
am
much.
very pleasure to meeting you
Thank
and
you.
invite me for this meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye
And
bye.
thank you, Dr. Saifur Rahman Saab. I also thank to you that you join us. And Dr. Talat Mustafa, I also add something that our next webinar on the broiler production and FCR and ventilation with Mr. Dr. Saifur Rahman Saab, next webinar. And I will invite you also.
Okay, then I will prepare a presentation
Okay.
for the for
Next
you.
week, sir. Next Sunday, inshallah Taala. Next Sunday, because Dr. Tala is also available on Sunday. So next Sunday, same time, we together and also Dr. Tala, would you also please bring some questions for broiler, for special for broiler productions, FCR,
Yes,
broiler farming. Yes, sir.
yes, Dr. Mustafa, it is a good forum to
Yes.
exchange our experiences. Actually, in
Excuse me
Pakistan,
again.
yes, in Pakistan,
Uh,
we are performing
Yes.
very. We have very good FCR. We have a very low mortality in broilers. Uh, but even then, when we share something with you and you share with us, then the both will be benefited.